Hey y'all, welcome back to Chop It Up TV. I know in the previous videos I mentioned all kind of names. This is definitely Chop It Up. I'm Uncle Freezy, and wanted to do a short video about something that's um, kind of odd, peculiar. Something I'm struggling to figure out all the dimensions of it. And so what I'm struggling with is what confidence means to who we are as people. Confidence. And listen, y'all know what confidence is, so we may struggle to describe what it is, but we've all seen it in action. So let me do something here. I'm going to read the definition of confidence based on what's listed in an online dictionary. So confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, right? That's the online definition of confidence. Um, while we may not be able to describe it in the way that we speak every day, we certainly know when people don't have it. You know, when some people don't have confidence, they may as well be wearing a yellow road construction vest. That's how much it sticks out. And those that may not have and let me clarify. So we go through our lives and we may not have confidence in a certain thing, but the when people don't have confidence in themselves, it sticks out like that road construction vest, like I just mentioned. Let me ask you this: is having it important? Do you feel like, and I'm talking to all the users, everybody that watches the videos, and comments, and hits me up, and said, hey Uncle Freezy, I saw the video, and listen, and I appreciate y'all, by the way, appreciate y'all for liking the videos and subscribing to the channels. Eventually, I want to do a giveaway. I want to send somebody a Chop It Up T-shirt or something like that. I may do that when I get to 50 subscribers. I get to 50 subscribers, and I know y'all, that's low hanging fruit, man. 50 people, but I'm saying that, like, I'm saying this because I appreciate the fact that y'all spent time out of y'all day to look to push our conversations forward. But back to confidence. Do you need confidence to be successful in life? I am not sure if you do. Because for, say, if you go into a room full of 100 people and ask, do you need confidence to be successful? I'm not for sure you'd get 50 people to say, yes, you need confidence. I know you would get a range of answers ranging from, you get a big minority of people that would say you need luck to be successful in life, and a big minority of people will say you need blessings and fortune to be successful in life, and some people will even say that you need an extra hard, firm work ethic to be successful in life. I'm here to tell you I'm on the fence. And the reason why I bring up topics like this is not because I want to be, divisive or wishy-washy or flip-flop during the video. What I want to do is talk about polarizing topics. Like, why would I talk to you about does banana pudding taste good? Or do you prefer, strawberry cheesecake over there? That doesn't really put the screws to us mentally to force us to think about who we are as people and how our actions and outcomes impacts others. Why have the cornball conversation when you can talk about something that's intriguing? So back to the thing with confidence. I am one I've gone on that confidence scale. I've gone in a lot of different directions, say back and forth. So for those of y'all that know me, first of all, I don't lack it at this stage in my life. I don't lack confidence. I'm confident in who I am as a person. I'm confident in situations. I'm confident. Listen, I'm confident enough to do, these videos about these tough topics, and sharing with y'all, and look to have an open dialogue with these topics, that we discuss and put out here in order to grow the Chop It Up Network. But in years gone by, I went from one end of the spectrum that affected my self-esteem all the way to the other end where it's like tremendous swag. Like nobody is swaggier than Uncle Freezy when he show up. I don't care who you are. There's no. So I've been at that place, and I know some people, some psychologists, be like, "Oh, that's some type of mental whatever." No, not really. It's not that. It's So from my perspective, my confidence goes from one thing to another, and slowly. Like when I lose confidence, I don't lose all my confidence. It kind of goes back a little at a time over the course of a few years, until I get to the point where, hey man, I don't feel confident in such and such, and then I'll recalibrate and figure out what it is that, and then I'll, whatever. But so with me, I don't know if I struggle with it, but I can spot people that are lacking in overall self-confidence. And to me, I don't know if it is one of those things where you step in to try to help people with confidence and such. I think it's one of those where you have to step away and let them figure it out for themselves. I know it sounds cruel, but it's one of those where it's one of those topics, or not one of those topics. It's one of those situations where inserting yourself may be too much. Like give you an example, like the lady who may not be super confident in herself, and then her friends come along and try to get her to get the mani-pedi facial change of wardrobe type situation, and she winds up being a dressed up person still lacking in confidence. You know what I mean? Because so Uncle Freezy doesn't feel like he needs to dress up or drive the best car or have the best house in order to feel confident. Just want to know, I feel like I've gone through so much in my life that nothing surprises me. So when I step into a situation, I feel confident, regardless of what the circles that I enter. So I mean, and when I say that, I frequent with a variety of different people, all have different backgrounds. All have different backgrounds, come from different places. I guess that's the same thing as different backgrounds, whatever. But when I speak to them, I'm totally Uncle Freezy. I don't feel like I need to change anything about Uncle Freezy to fit in, with the group, right? Some people feel as if they do, because there was this thing where we talked about, dress for success, put your best foot forward, and blah, blah. I still feel like I do that, regardless of the circle of people that I'm in. I'm always going to be Uncle Freezy. I feel like I'm going to be put my best foot forward and such, right? But everybody's not Uncle Freezy, right? The best measure of that is say your kids. Like, say for instance, you may be lacking in say a certain level of confidence, and not just say in a certain situation, like not just, okay, Okay, so here's a scenario for you. Um, Late at night, you're out of town. You have to drive. You have to drive home, and so it's like maybe a 2.5 hour drive back home. You may be lacking in that certain level of confidence. Like, I'm not for sure if I can make it home by myself, you know, and maybe I should just wait till tomorrow when the sun's out. Yeah, I can see that. I can see where you wouldn't be confident in doing it. Uncle Freeze gonna be like, hey man, if I'm not tired, I'm gone. If I'm not tired, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm going home, getting on the road. You know, or for instance, um, I needed to finish up some college work, right? Need to finish up some college work. Make me better, whatever. Get into class. Everybody's 18. We start doing our stuff online, and people see, gray hair and see Uncle Freezy. They automatically know that I'm not 18 years old. So the questions start as a drip and then become a waterfall. Hey, how old are you? What you doing coming back to school? Hey, my age ain't important. I mean, I tell you, but I mean, it don't make me, less fired up to be here, and and for those that know Uncle Freezy, know I ain't lying. So, but yeah, so going back to school, these topics and such, I'm super confident to be a student. Now, when certain topics come, when the math comes, then Uncle Freezy may lose confidence just because math is hard. So it's one of those things. I don't lose confidence in myself. I lose confidence in my ability to do a certain thing. But there are others that lose confidence. Just don't step out. Just don't wake up with it, and don't go to bed with it. You know. And can you be successful in life if you don't have it? Um, you know, it's such a polarizing topic. It sounds corny. Like when I first brought it up to you, you probably thought like, man, confidence. Blah blah blah. I mean, confidence ain't. But trust me, I see y'all. I see y'all doing themselves. Look, I see y'all doing that all the time. Trying to take y'all selfies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Putting y'all stuff out there. Trying to put y'all best foot forward. And as soon as you get one thumb down, you talking about such and such as a hater, you didn't like them, no way. They probably just didn't like the picture. You think they don't like you. But since you have a lack of confidence, you taking everything to the extreme. Like, I never liked them anyway. They stuck up. Some people say, hey, Uncle Freezy is, hey, I don't know. He think he better than everybody. And I don't. I don't think I'm one that says you can be super confident and super humble at the same time. You can do it. You can be super confident and super humble at the same time. Because the thing with confidence is that you don't have to speak to people a certain way. Like, you don't have to belittle or feel like people are not good enough to be around you and things of that sort. But at the same time, people that don't have that certain level of self-confidence have to realize that interaction may be their issue and not your issue. Do I honestly believe, or do I wish everybody in the world had a super level of self-confidence in themselves where they feel like they can achieve anything if they put their minds to it? Yes. And I mean anything now. When I say everything, I don't mean everything. I mean anything. Like, anything you put your mind to, you can achieve it if you desire it. That's what I mean. I don't mean can everybody do everything. The world is not built that way. The world is not built where, some people, everybody has the ability to do everything in the world. People are different. They have different levels of importance to them. So what do you think about people? Excuse me. What do you think about people that have a high level of self-confidence? Do you think they're sedity, stuck up? Do you think that people are, or do you think those people think that they're better than everybody else? There's no shame in answering honestly. Answer these questions honestly. If I ask you the question, answer that question honestly. Because I've been in situations where people have just come up to me out of the blue and be like, the reason why I don't like you is because Uncle Freezy think he better than everybody else. And then other people will say that or hear that and be like, are you crazy? Who, Uncle Freezy? You crazy. That dude he is the complete opposite. And I'm telling you, that has happened to me like 2, 3, 4 times where one person thinks I'm one way because they see me in passing, and then they'll say, well, this dude is super confident. And sometimes, his attitude would be like, he don't really care about certain things or whatever. And then so they'll say something like, man, Uncle Freezy, man, the only reason why I ain't invite you is because you feel like you better than everybody else. And then, you'll hear like the rest of the crowd be like, what? Are you serious? Uncle Freezy? Uncle Freezy, salt of the earth. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, or to try to make myself look bad, which is crazy. But people do that. Like they'll use their lack of confidence in situations to point the finger at people that may be confident in the situation. Like okay, so you know how it is. Like at work, boss come in the room, say something random like, "Oh, we got to be more productive with it, blah blah blah. We gotta work more, and I ain't gonna pay you nothing." Just some strange management speak or whatever. And then he'll be like, "Uncle Freeze, I'm starting with you." And I'm like, "I don't care. Start with me. You challenging me? All right. Not only will I do what it is that you want me to do, I'm gonna do more than that. How about that, boss man?" You know what I'm saying? And so the people in the room will be like, "He kissing up to the boss." The boss came in here, was yelling at everybody, and he up there kissing up to the boss. And then Uncle Freezy's mind, I'm like, this dude just challenged me in front of all these people, and he think I'm gonna back down. I ain't backing down for nobody. But that's the confidence. That's the confidence issue. That I spoke about. Because in that same room, once we sit in that room and wait for the boss to show up, it's the same people that'll be thinking like, "Oh my God, he about to lay everybody off." Yeah, the boss coming in here. He said he'll be in here in 10 minutes. The whole 10 minutes, they'll be thinking like, "Man, we about to get laid off, man." I heard such and such in them over there. They got such and such going on. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, man, that's the furthest thing from my mind. When I'm in the workplace, I want to be the best employee in there, and I want to have the people around me be just as good. And not by forcing them to do stuff, but by helping them if I can. If I can help them with something, take some load off them, I'm gonna do that. If the way I do it ain't the best way and they got a better way, I'm gonna do that. But for people with low confidence, if there's a better way, they'll keep it to themselves, and it'll be one of those situations where they feel like if they keep all the good stuff to themselves, that it'll make them look better. But not really. That's not really how things work. And not just in workplace though. Not just in workplace. I'm talking about everywhere. Like we'll be out at, in a restaurant. Not now. I'm not irresponsible, y'all. But I'm talking about going out to dinner before the quarantine. So we'll be out say at dinner or whatever, say a group of us at dinner, and we'll be kind of loud and obnoxious. Like, people will tell jokes and I'll laugh. You know what I'm saying? And like somebody will tell a story that's really good. And so it's a situation like you're enjoying somebody's company, and everybody's having a pretty good time, and then you'll see people at the other table looking like, hey, the restaurant don't belong to them. Can y'all be quiet? I can't cut my steak with all that noise. I'm like, dude, probably because you have the wrong knife. You have a kitty knife. If you had an adult knife, you could cut your own steak, clown. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of those things. Like, sometimes people are intimidated by people that are confident. Do I think confidence goes too far? Not if you're a good decision maker. If you're a really good decision maker, then always know what the limits are, whether you obey those limits or not. So if you're a good decision maker, you understand limitations, your limitations, the limitations of the group you might be in, the limitations of the situation, the environment. So when it comes to maybe confidence going too far, I mean, I think it can happen, right? I think it can happen. But at the same time, I think good decision makers, you tend to be good decision makers most of the time. I think good decision makers always have an eye on the risk factor. Like, when does the risk outweigh the reward? And when the risk outweighs the reward, then it may be time to reassess the situation. And I say that and I say that in a situation like this. A few years ago, I was at a party, and it was close to everybody's, leaving. It sounded right. You can't party all night. It was like a Christmas party or something, and you can't party all night. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be responsible. So anyway, my homeboy pulls out a bottle of wine, like, hey, man, I've been trying to get to it all night, man. Y'all been talking. But it's like 1:30. And so we don't drink wine. Like, you don't just drink wine, just pour it and pour it. You get your glass, and somebody will tell a story or a funny joke or something, and you drink your wine or whatever. And so you enjoy the moment. But it's like 1:30, and I have to drive all the way home, right? So I tell everybody, like, hey, man, I ain't drinking no wine and getting on the road. That's out, because I don't drink and drive, period. And it goes back to something personal that happened with me. And while I never got a DUI, I saw how it affected other people. And so I don't do it, period. Right? So, you're like, oh, man, Free, stop being a party pooper, man. You can get you a hotel, and and you can stay here and then go home in the morning. And so I'm like, dog, I'm not gonna do all of that over a couple of glasses of wine, man. I mean, dude, we enjoyed the party. The party was dope. I mean, and now I'm gonna just go into the house safely. You know what I'm saying? And so I got the whole, oh man, and so my thing is, listen. Y'all go ahead and do y'all thing, since y'all, you live here in town, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not drinking, So the thing was, oh man, dude, the party. But there is a risk reward factor there. Is risking it. Is risking getting a DUI or potentially killing somebody in a vehicle worth me having a glass of wine? Think about that. Driving drunk, DUI, possibly killing somebody, or a glass of wine. See, it's not even close. So the decision-making process is like the stuff that you got to think about. When you're in the moment, you're like, oh man, you just bought out so and so. You really drove an hour and a half to buy that bottle of wine. It was really $72. You know what I'm saying? So all those things or whatever. Okay. So back to confidence. So my stance on confidence is have everybody be as confident as they can in themselves and their abilities. There is a point where you can cross the line and become obnoxious, and you don't want to be that person. You want to be confident enough to get close to that line, but also being self-aware enough to understand that being at that line or over is not a good thing. You know, I had a boss tell me one time, and it made sense in a moment, but now that I think back on it, it makes no sense at all. So one of my boss, a really smart dude, I mean, a really sharp cat, man. I admire this dude. You know, I soaked up a lot of experience just from being around this person, man. You know, I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want him, you know, bragging in the comments below, like, yeah, I didn't know you felt that way about me, Ken, and blah blah blah. And so you'll had to see Uncle Freezy say something like, "Get your ass out of my comments." No, I'm just joking, y'all. I'm just joking about the comments part. But this person really was a super smart, super sharp, and first of all, being smart and sharp are not the same things. But he was super smart and super sharp, super aware of his surroundings, knew our business. He pulled me to the side. I was like, hey man. And so when my mom watches these videos, she'll be like, man, I can't believe you was talking trash like that at work to your boss. He write the checks. But he was like, he said something to me. And so when I saw him, we were just transitioning back to whatever. I was like, hey man, why you gonna say something like that to us? We in here busting our behind for you, and you gonna come out your mouth with some weird mess like that. And so he was like, Uncle Freezy, you know, I'll fire you right now. And I was like, and I'll be working another job Monday. And he was like, back up, like, you know, or whatever. And so he pulls me to, he's like, okay, man, the thing is sometimes, man, I have to be a jerk to be the boss in order to get people to move. And so I explained to him, like, man, everybody is not motivated by fear. Everybody's not motivated by the same things. And people's confidence level are always, the needle is always moving on people's confidence. So if you slam them, their confidence will go down, as opposed to you reinforcing like positive stuff and building up their confidence so they can maybe go the next step on some stuff, maybe take a risk here or there, if they feel like it'll benefit the whole. So he tells me, like, hey man, I gotta be a jerk sometimes. That's just part of business. And I was like, okay, I can dig that. You know, whatever. But the thing is sometimes when you do that though, you mash people's confidence, and you don't ever know if they'll regain it. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story about Uncle Freezy and Jim. So Jim was my father, right? I love the dude, man. I'm talking about love the dude, man. I basically worshiped the ground he walked on, even though he didn't know it at the time. You know, he didn't know it at the time for a number of reasons. But anyway, we were playing baseball, and you know, well, we weren't, but okay. So here it's okay. So we're at a family function, Lincoln Park. We were playing softball, and one of my uncles was cooking out on the grill, and so bases loaded. I'm coming up. I'm like, man, I got this game won. I'm about to hit this ball all the way to the water fountain. And the water fountain was a long, long way away. But I was like 9. But in my mind, you, this is Uncle Freezy we talking about. So confidence wasn't an issue. So I get up, I strike out, the whole family laughing at me, right? And I stomp back, man. I sit down, man. I start crying. And I'm crying and crying and crying. And so, like, hey, man, what you crying for, you baby? You punk. Get up. Men don't cry. And this is the 80s, y'all. This is 70s, 80s, whatever. When being macho and bravado ruled the day. I'm telling you, in the 80s, masculinity was like the ultimate. It was like God, masculinity, family is basically what it was. And for people that were alive back then, y'all know I'm not lying. So anyway, I'm crying. And so my aunts and them come up to me. They want to hug me. I'm like, get off me. You know, they're like, that boy, something wrong with him. Why you that mad off a game? And what they didn't know is that I didn't want to just, you know, it wasn't just about that. It's because I had a goal in mind and I didn't hit it. You know what I'm saying? And so for some of y'all that know what, okay, I'll give you an example. For some of y'all that wanted to lose 10 pounds and y'all did y'all diet, y'all did all that stuff and y'all step on the scale and you lost 7 pounds, you thinking to yourself, man, I done did all that work. I did all of that and all I lost was 7 pounds. Yeah, I hurt y'all mad. Think about that feeling. That's the same feeling I had when I was like 9 in that game that we played. So anyway, later on that year, I'm playing Little League baseball, right? Every game, I'm sitting on the bench. Coach won't put me in. This dude, Coach Reggie, wouldn't put me in the game. I was playing for Deluxe Cleaners, right? He didn't like me playing shortstop because I was tall, and he didn't know me as a kid, right? You know, whatever. He wouldn't put me in the game. And most of the mamas out there was like, put my baby in the game. Well, my mom wasn't like that. So he was like, she ain't like, they don't care, I don't care, whatever. And so, so it's like, you know, finally towards, you know, end of the year, I started getting in the game. I'm raking, I'm hitting the ball. My brother would bust in the house. Jim would be in the kitchen smoking Winston's and frying up leg quarters. That's one of my memories. I don't care. Every time I tell a story, every time I talk to y'all about Jim, it's gonna be standing in the kitchen, smoking Winston's, and drinking a bird and frying leg quarters. All right, so so anyways, Byron's bust. It's like 2 or 3 times Byron busting in. Jim, Uncle Freezy hit a home run. Oh, that ain't nothing. He probably got lucky. Just, you know, and so All Stars come, fast forward, you know, game come, I get a good hit, win the game, bust in, same thing, Byron bust in the house, Jim in there, smoking Winston's and a wife beater, frying leg quarters, right? He says, and he like, that ain't nothing. He ain't did nothing. So one of my uncles was like, hey, man, so I heard you was doing good. I was like, yeah, I was doing all right. You know, man, he's like, man, you had 3 hits the other day. We was down there watching you. And my heart started to patter like somebody noticed. You know, like somebody noticed. Like somebody literally from my family is about to give me props for something. And so you're like, yeah, I saw you got 3 hits. So Jim was like, well, you probably came to bat 25 times. They probably felt sorry for you. And so I realized then, like, you know, some people's confidence meter, like when people talk trash on me, it kind of goes down. My confidence meter used to go the other way. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, next time we play, I'm going to get 7 hits. You know, but it's one of those things, as I look back on it, he was trying to 2 things. So he didn't know how to communicate good, but he was also trying to motivate me to you know, to do better. At least that's the way I'm taking it. Right? So what do y'all think about this confidence thing? Is confidence important to your overall success? It's a tough question. I find that, or I've experienced a situation where somebody tried to fail something and it basically ruined the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they girl get married to a guy. It's fairy tale at first, and then it don't work, and then now she mad at every man that walked the earth. Why? Why did that kill your confidence? Because you tried something and it didn't work. So now you do the classic, I'm gonna cut all my hair off and I'm gonna buy me a new car and I'm gonna dye my hair and get a tattoo thing when you break up with a man. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to understanding that there was love there and there was enjoyment there. But the fact that it didn't work doesn't make you any less of a person. Unless you stood there and unless you stayed in a bad relationship where you were verbally abused and that abuse caused you to lose confidence in yourself. Right? And if you did that, once you step away, you have to rebuild yourself, pick up the pieces. Don't tear yourself down. You know what I mean? Don't tear yourself down because of what somebody says. Somebody, like, for instance, they'll say, "Oh man, that's that fat dude that be doing them videos on YouTube, man. That channel ain't gonna go nowhere." You know what? I'm the complete opposite, because I know I have conversations just like this with y'all all the time. And sometimes we'll have a conversation, won't see each other for 8 weeks. And as soon as we see each other, to be continued with the same conversation we was having. You know what I mean? So, it's one of those things, like with confidence, you have to understand that, there should be a belief system. And so I believe the belief system starts with God first and then family, and trust that family members are trying to give you the best advice they can in order to make you, a good person and make life easier for you. Right? That's the easy part, right? Those are the things that I understand are foundations, right? The other part, though, is you have to do things over and over and over again in order to get confident in them. Like, you have to say, if you're not confident as a public speaker, right? I'm confident as a public speaker because I've done it over and over and over and over and over again. So when it comes to talking to people, hey, I don't get intimidated, even with tough questions. You ask me a tough question, if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna tell you. It don't make me any less of a person. It's just I don't know, and I understand that. But I've been in a situation with others that they've been in a situation where they're doing a public speaking and somebody asked them a tough question and they don't know. They start to stammer and get nervous and lose confidence, and then later on they're like, "Man, you see how they try to tear me down up there?" And so Uncle Freezy trying to be reassuring, like, man, you can't really, look at it like that. Sometimes you're just not going to know something, and the best thing to do is just admit that you don't know. Why front? Why try to be something you're not? You can't be confident in being somebody else because you don't know who that other person is, but you do know who you are. Whether you might not know what type of person that you want to evolve into, but you know yourself better than anybody knows you. Nobody knows you. Even your mom, she could say that I knew you when you was a baby, but she don't know who you are now. She don't know your inner thoughts. She don't know. The only thing she knows is what you tell her. You know what I'm saying? So the thing with confidence is our confidence meter may go down and up, down and up, down and up, and it shouldn't. What we should do is be more self-aware. Be more open to gain experience with stuff. Don't be afraid to do the same thing over and over and over again. It makes you confident in that task. You know what I mean? Like say for the example I used, public speaking. If you're not a public speaker, practice at doing it. And then after 20 or so, 30 or so, 50, 100 times, you'll be good at it. Have your belief system in place. Like, have people tell you positive stuff. Like with Uncle Freezy. Like people, And this is, and listen, I'm not telling them to boost my head up, but I'm telling them to boost my head up at the same time. So have people tell you positive stuff. Like, hey, you looking good there, Uncle Freezy. Thank you. Same to you. You look great. You know, what's the harm in that? What did that hurt? That didn't hurt a soul. You know, and for the person I used in the first example when we first got started, the person with low confidence, borderline low self-esteem, have people tell you positive stuff. Be in positive environments. Like, don't be afraid to tell people that you need a compliment. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a weakness, but it's not. It's not. And you know, it's you know, like my uncle. My uncle used to. I think I may have shared this in a video or something. My uncle drove from Detroit, Michigan, all the way to South Carolina in a 3-piece suit. He got out that car. Man, that car was clean. It was like, God, you clean at the Board of Health, boy. You know you clean. And he's like, thank you, that boy. Come here, let me give you a little something. You know what I mean? Hey, it's one of those things where positive vibes will reinforce. Positive vibes will reinforce like that positive attitude. And I know that there are in our lives, there are people that are venomous, that are afraid, that are tortured. So they feel like they can't dole out positive vibes because that's corny. They'll say something like, man, I live in the real world. Hey, man, all of us live live in this real world. As a matter of fact, this world is as real as you can get, you know, but by saying negative stuff all the time only reinforces negative attitudes and opinions and views of you and the people around you. But positive thoughts, positive vibes is like, you know, having somebody always having your back 24/7. It's like always having people with you. So when you step out, you can be confident. And so while our confidence tank may get to half a tank, a quarter tank, and may almost get to empty, but make sure you get yourself back around people that's positive. And have them say, you know, positive things to you. Like, I'll give you an example of a positive thing that doesn't sound positive. Okay. Hey, so that haircut to me that you got is not becoming. But yo, the one you had last month, the one you got all the compliments on, you should probably go back to that one. And then so people be like, dang, that's a diss. No, it's not a diss. It's not a diss. There was a compliment in there. You just chose to look at the front end of that as opposed to the other part where the people were showing you love. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how I know that's how a lot of people think. Like, yeah, girl, that haircut, I don't know. They'll talk, yeah, I don't know how that haircut look on her. You know, but then at the same time, they're like, man, I don't know why she cut her hair off anyway. Her hair was beautiful. Why she just cut it off? You know, hey girl, you need to, you know, your hair was beautiful. And so she's thinking like, man, I just want to try something new. And then, you know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, it's like, man, they don't like my hairdo. Now I'm going to throw some color in. Oh, now I'm going to change it to purple. instead of trying to grow their hair back. So, yeah. So do we need confidence to be successful in life? And, you know, I said a lot of stuff on the side of yes. But I don't know. I still think it's like one of those, you know, deals where maybe, but I'm not certain. I say for myself, speaking for Uncle Freezy, I like being confident. I don't like not having confidence. I dislike that. You know, that's why I'm always striving to be that confident person. You know, by constantly assessing who I am as a person. Am I a good friend? Am I a good dad? Am I a good brother? You know, if not, what am I doing wrong? Am I a good friend? Are all my telephone conversations one-sided? Like when such and such call, do I talk the whole 20 minutes and then they say one thing and then we hanging up? Do I listen? It's one of those things. I'm literally thinking about all these things that I've just said in this 45-minute video and assessing confidence going forward. So let me do this while I continue to think about it. If you like conversations like this one, confident, do you need confidence to be successful in life? Or if you like the other video, the fascination with things, or if you like, there are a bunch of videos. If you like videos like this, come join the conversation, right? Eventually we're going to do YouTube live, so that we can answer questions, and things like that, and have guests on and have, celebrity panels. And I say celebrity, that's funny. My friends, celebrities, that's funny as hell. My friends will be YouTube sensations, YouTube celebrities. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to say wow. But when y'all start to hear them, I think y'all are going to y'all are very much are going to like them. But anyway, subscribe to the channel. Hit like on all the videos that you like. Comment in the description below. Share these videos on social media, so that others that may not know about Chop It Up yet can join in the conversation and push the conversation forward, so that we can continue to have open dialogue. You're not out here by yourself. Those things that you think about in your quiet moments are things that a lot of people think about in their quiet moments. So don't be afraid to talk about it. That's why Chop It Up is here. Again, thank you for listening to me rant about certain topics that we all discuss, whether we're together or, on whatever. We'll have other videos coming out soon. Oh yeah, hit your man up on Twitter at Big Freezy on Twitter. Hit me up so that we can continue to push the conversation forward. And also, excuse me, hit us up on Discord. There's a Discord channel. Just look for Chop It Up, and then that way you can join, and we'll continue the conversation that way. We'll know how to make better content going forward. Share, like, subscribe, comment in the section below.